With Russia's invasion of Ukraine, not only have countries' defense capabilities and their alliances come to the forefront, but also the management of their respective economies become a big issue. The West has been pushing to limit Russia's profits from exports of important commodities like oil for what it calls defunding the Ukraine war. Moscow has hit back by cutting energy supplies to Europe, leaving the latter in a crisis. Amidst all this, there's one country that has been walking a tightrope so as to secure the best deal for its own people, India. And it is oil that has taken the global center stage with price caps, offers and counter-offers up for discussions. Talks began last week among G7 nations, which consist of the United States, Japan, Germany, Britain, France, Italy, and Canada, along with the European Union, to impose a price cap on Russian oil. This essentially to put a check on Moscow's finances, as it profited heavily from high energy and crude prices thanks to restricted global supply post the Ukraine war. G7 is keen on having India and China on board this proposal, two import-heavy nations that have been benefiting from discounted Russian oil beginning February this year. Now, Russia has reportedly made a proposal to India so that it does not follow the West, but with conditions. According to the Business Standard, Moscow has told New Delhi that it is willing to provide petroleum at even lower rates than before to India. An official with the Ministry of External Affairs was quoted as saying, "In principle, the ask in return is that India should not support the G7 proposal. A decision on this issue will be taken later following talks with all the partners." Russia, as mentioned earlier, made its entry only post the Ukraine war and has caught up with competitors like Iraq already. Take this for instance. India's oil imports from Russia have historically been under 1%. After the Ukraine war, however, this went up to around 18%. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said this increase is a part of the country's inflation management strategy. According to a report by OPEC, data shows Russia moving up to be the top supplier of crude to India in June, securing a 24% share. Iraq fell to the second position with a share of 21%, followed by Saudi Arabia, which was stable at 15%. India has been following the wait-and-watch approach, essentially weighing the pros and cons of each option. For context, India consumes around 5 million barrels of oil per day and fulfills its requirement by importing 87% crude from around the world. On the G7 price cap, India has made it clear to the US that it cannot boycott Moscow till such time there is a guarantee of oil from Venezuela and Iran. Russia's discount offer to India will pit it directly against Iraq and Saudi Arabia, India's biggest oil suppliers. Data for June 2022 shows that oil imports from Russia rose 15.5%, while those from Iraq and Saudi Arabia dropped by 10.5% and 13.5% respectively, dragging the share of the Middle East to 56.5% from 59.3%. In July, however, India's crude oil imports from Russia fell for the first time since March along with its overall purchase, while supplies from Saudi Arabia rebounded for the first time in 5 months. However, Moscow continues to remain India's third largest oil supplier after Iraq. Analysts say that Russia is aiming at achieving two objectives. First, stopping India from following the West, and second, through heavy discounts, becoming the main oil supplier to New Delhi, displacing Iraq in the process as well. As of August, Russian crude oil costs $6 less than the average crude import basket price. Iraq, meanwhile, provided its own discounts in the last 2 months, which on average cost $9 a barrel less than Russian oil. Experts have also pointed out that cutting off Russian oil supply globally is not an option. According to some estimates, if Russian oil supply of 6 to 8 million barrels per day is taken off the global market, oil prices would soar to an unaffordable $380 per barrel. A lot now hinges on whatever decision India takes. According to columnist Narayan Ramachandran, if the G7 price cap fails, as is quite likely, then India can continue to be a trusted partner to Russia for discounted oil. If the cap somehow succeeds, then India can use its success as further leverage in its discussions with Russia. Do you think India will accept Moscow's offer? Do let us know in the comments.